John had said, I'm Peter Cinciano, ATEN Technology. I've been in this industry for a long time. Recently with ATEN, Raritan, APC, and so I've been around and have sold products to companies large and small. And I would like to address you guys on a couple of key topics that are close to me, and that's accessing methods for your IT devices. Everybody has to go up and physically touch a device every once in a while. And intelligent power in the data center, where we're basically running out of power and space and all that. So I wanted to address those two topics today. So I want to go over ATEN. I'm going to go over what I call cloud computing and the data center productivity, and then I want to switch over to access methods for your IT devices. What is a KVM? You know, anybody might say, hey, keyboard, monitor, mouse, you know, but I want to get into it a little bit. And why KVM? In-band versus out-of-band management. Why people are not understanding those differences, and I want to hit home upon that. And then when we get into the power, why measure power? You know, why are we doing that today? Why is it important? And power at the device level, why is that important? Another key thing was the data center infrastructure management. So that kind of plays into what I had just said about, you know, you basically have all these servers in the data center, you basically are virtualizing them, but, you know, where are they? You know, how do I go into the data center and basically find the server that I'm supposed to be working on today? Everything needs to be mapped out. A server may have 3, 4, 5 NIC cards, it may have fiber. It may have all these connections that really need to be understood where they're running through. There's no, people in the data center or not in the data center are always trying to understand what my data center looks like from a visualized point of view, not just a virtual point of view. A given in the data center, you know, it would be great if you just bought this one big mainframe and you had it for 10 years and then you replaced it after 10 years, but that's not what's happening. And we're constantly scaling up, scaling down, virtualizing, doing all the stuff that is required at that moment. And I usually use that word agility, because agility basically is the ability to change to what you need right now. And so I think the biggest task that we have today in the data center is how do we keep up with all of these moves, changes, and basically make our data center a workable, non-albatross on the company, but really like an asset. In-band and out-of-band access. So when we go into a remote desktop session, the way people usually access the servers most of the time, they basically get to use the in-band access, which is getting onto the application, running things. Usually I live there, but what it doesn't do is do all these other things that are out-of-band access, like when I need to reboot the server, when I need to go into the BIOS. The green is when the server is up and running and healthy, but when it's broken, then you need to have something connected to it, like a KVM, and that's where a KVM goes into play. Pretty good. We had about 25 people in attendance from the local AFCOM chapter here in Irvine, California. My topic was for KVM over IP, the evolution of KVM and why it's needed today, and also power over the IP network, how we use power strips in the past, how we're using the intelligent power strips today, how we're mapping power in the data center, and really gaining the efficiencies within the data center. So overall, it went well for ATEN, and I think John Parker's presentation from ESRI went pretty good on change management. And so take it away, John.
Hi, I'm John Parker, Chapter President of AFCOM Southern California. I wanted to thank everyone for coming today. I also want special thanks to ATEN for sponsoring and hosting our meeting and doing a presentation. And our meeting today was a very huge success, and we all learned a lot as usual, and thank you again.